Primers are intended as a performance upgrade. It is... Did that... Hi gang. Today's episode of Watercraft Talk, I wanted to talk a little bit about primers. Primer system on your watercraft. All too often we get emails and phone calls, and I see even people on the internet asking about hard starting skis, and many times, all too often, the advice is to install a primer. That is not correct and not good advice. A primer system is intended as a performance upgrade, not as a band-aid for a hard starting ski. Watercraft, carbureted watercraft stock come from the factory. Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Sea-Doo come from the factory with chokes. Chokes are just as they sound. You've got a choke plate in the carburetor here on a shaft that is operated by a cable, and by pulling the cable, it closes off the top of the carburetor, decreasing airflow, increasing fuel, increasing vacuum in the venturi, and good for cold starts. A primer does not have anything in here. We've got a primer fitting on the side of the carburetor, and we are injecting fuel into the venturi of the carburetor with a squirt, again for a cold start situation. If you have chokes and your ski is not starting properly, that is a warning that you need some maintenance. Many times, all too often, we find the carburetors are old and have not been serviced. They're out of adjustment, out of spec, so on and so forth. You need to rebuild your fuel system. Not only the carburetors, but I strongly recommend going out through everything. Replace the fuel lines, the fuel filter, the fuel select valve, check your fuel tank pickups, so on and so forth. As these skis get older, they need work. Failure to do so can result in engine damage. We get skis coming in. I've saved this diaphragm here. This has been an ethanol. I know you guys can't tell. Thing's hard like a potato chip. It is crispy. It is dried out, and we see that all the time. If your carburetors are like this and it's hard starting and you're just adding a primer, it's just a band-aid. You're not truly addressing the issue and fixing the problem. If you want a performance upgrade, we remove the choke shafts and the choke plates and add a primer. In doing so, that increases airflow in the venturi of the carburetor and increases performance. More air, more fuel, more performance. It goes along with a pipe, maybe increased compression, some timing, different impeller, so on and so forth. Aftermarket flame arresters that breathe better. You want to increase airflow, and by doing so, you remove the choke shaft and choke plate, and now you add a primer for cold starting. A properly tuned watercraft, Yamaha's specifically, will almost start without a choke or a primer or anything. They're very easy starting, very easy running. You should be able to start your ski. So if your ski is not starting, put a primer in, fine, great, that's good for performance, but please go through the fuel system or you could still have some engine damage due to a lean condition. I hope you find that useful. I sure appreciate you watching. Keep the comments and suggestions coming. Please like, tag, share, and follow. More importantly, be nice to each other out there. And next time, we'll see you out in the water.